Hello, this video is over Chapter 17, the Endocrine System, Objective 1. So we're going to take a look at Objective 1, comparing and contrasting the two major control systems of the body. So the two major organ systems that are involved in getting information from one place to another within the human body in order to maintain homeostasis is, you should probably already know the nervous system was going to be one of those answers, and the endocrine system. So we learned this back in A&P 1, but just to recap, these are the two organ systems involved in maintaining homeostasis. Now, they do go about it differently. So, for instance, the nervous system, the type of communication is going to go from one cell to the next. And remember, this is going to be an electrochemical signal. The electrical part is the action potential that's going to move down the axon. So, down this part of the cell right here, that's that axon. Now, when it gets to the axon terminal, then you're going to get the chemical signal. So from the axon terminals, you're going to get those neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that are secreted from those axon terminals and are going to cross the synapse and bind to the receptors on the postsynaptic cell. So on those dendrites or the cell body of that postsynaptic cell. So that's the nervous system. That should be reviewed. That was back from chapter 12. If you wanted to watch a video over the nervous system, just to kind of review in your brain how that works, there's a video attached, embedded within the PowerPoint. Now, the nervous system, just some characteristics that we may not have spoke about in chapter 12. The nervous system is going to be a local and rapid response. So if we go back a slide, 2 slides, and take a look at this, everything is acting at the synapse right here. So that neurotransmitter is only crossing that synapse, that very short distance to reach the next cell. So in that respect, that's why it is a local and rapid response. It's going to happen very quickly, targeting that next cell within milliseconds. And then the target cell is going to, again, quickly stop due to the enzyme that is in the synapse that is gobbling up that neurotransmitter. Acetylcholinesterase is the enzyme that we spoke about previously that gobbles up acetylcholine. That was chapter 12. Now, neural communication enables body functions that involve quick, brief actions, such as movement, sensation, cognition. You know, when you touch a hot pot on the stove, you don't want to wait 5 minutes to figure out that that pan was a hot pan. So again, this is going to be very quick and very brief. Short-term quick response. This is the summary of this whole entire slide right here is the nervous system works with short-term quick responses to rapid changes in the external and internal environment. So again, like I said, external, touching that hot pot on a stove and you moving your hand away. Internal, body temperature is rising. We need to hurry up and fix that. So again, that's going to be a quick response, very specific responses. Now, the endocrine system, on the other hand, one type of communication where the nervous system used two, the endocrine system is only going to use one, and it's going to use chemicals, but these are going to be hormones rather than neurotransmitters that were used in the nervous system. Hormones are secreted by endocrine glands. We're going to talk about that more in this chapter, and they're going to travel through the bloodstream to their target cell. So we have a nice little graphic up here so you can see those endocrine glands right there secreting those triangular hormones. They're going to enter into the bloodstream. We'll watch those yellow arrows right there. They're going to go down the blood vessel towards the target cell. And when they reach a cell that has the correct receptors on it, the hormone will bind and cause changes in that target cell. So again, the hormone binds to the receptors on the target cell, which is going to produce some type of response by that target cell. And depending on what the cell is going to determine the response. So we'll just say a response. We can't really classify that yet. Hormones may take a long time to reach their target cell since they do have to travel through the entire bloodstream sometimes to get where they're going. So it's not just right next door like that with that synapse. They're going to have to travel a ways. So the endocrine system is described as a long-term, slow response scenario. Less specific, since any cell with a receptor to that hormone will be activated. So it may not just trigger these target cells in this location in the body. It could target or it could stimulate cells further down somewhere else in another organ and another gland, and also trigger them to respond if they have the receptor that will bind to that specific hormone. Slow response that makes changes to the internal environment. So this is not going to be a rapid response type situation. This is going to be a slow response. Now, the endocrine system communication, like we said a second ago, communication is going to take longer than it does in the nervous system, less specific than in the nervous system, since it can target various cells, not just the one cell. This is a summary slide. This pretty much summarizes everything we just talked about. So your signaling mechanisms for the endocrine system, remember that was strictly chemical, that was hormones, whereas the signaling mechanisms for the nervous system are electrical and chemical. The chemical are the neurotransmitters. The electrical were action potentials. Distance traveled, endocrine system could be long or short. It depends on where the gland is versus where the target cell is. It could be next door, or it could be across the body somewhere. Nervous system, it's always short. It's just crossing that synapse. Response time for the endocrine system could be fast or slow. Nervous system is always going to be a fast response time. Environment targeted, well, the endocrine system is going to stay within the internal environment, where the nervous system is going to be internal and external. So, again, know this summary slide and you should be pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the questions. I'll give you a second to take a look at this. Which two organ systems are responsible for maintaining homeostasis? And if you picked D, endocrine and nervous, you would be correct. Next question. That should say question. It's still set 1, but it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so comparing it back to the table that we just saw, you should get only makes changes to the internal environment. Well, that's going to be the endocrine system. So anything with an A is going to be nervous system. Anything with a B is going to be endocrine system. Primary chemical signal is neurotransmitters. That's definitely going to be the nervous system. Response time is always fast, keyword being always there. That's also going to be the nervous system. Signaling mechanism is only chemical. Well, that's again only being a keyword there. That's your endocrine system, B. And then distance traveled to reach target could be long or short. Well, that would be the endocrine system. And that concludes objective 1 from chapter 17.